the Dragons and the Jaguars. And if you are awaiting the YouTube stream, I apologize. For some reason, we're having a little bit of technical difficulty here. There we go. Now we're up and running. So, again, welcome anyone who is tuned in here, whether you're watching on YouTube or are listening on the radio. Thanks so much for tuning in here. Great River Conference matchup between the Dragons and the Jaguars here in the Great River Conference. It'll be the last Great River Conference game for both of these teams. And as we take a look at these two teams coming into tonight, we'll start with the visiting Dragons. They sit at 13-11 on the season, and 4-3 in their section. They play in Section 6 AA, while the Hinckley-Finlayson Jaguars play in Section 7 AA. So Pine City, they are in Section 6 AA. They're 13-11, 4-3 in their section. And as we take a look at their section, they rank at that 11th spot right now. And as we are closing in on the playoffs, 11th spot, that would be a tough one. They'd be on the road no matter what, I think, as of right now. Unless they were to win on Tuesday against Esco, I don't really see a whole lot of opportunities for them to get a higher seed unless, of course, some teams lost. But as of right now, they would go ahead and play Sauk Center. They would travel over to Sauk Center for their first playoff game of the year. Of course, that'll be beginning March 9th for these boys basketball teams here, for Pine City anyways. On the other side for your Hinckley-Finlayson Jaguars, they are in Section 7 AA, as we mentioned before. They are ranked 10th at 11-13 and 2-5 in the section, and that 10th spot would put them on the road in the playoffs to begin as well. And if I remember correctly, 10th would be a road game to the number 7th seed, as we'll confirm that as we look at the bracket. Yes, so they will play March 7th, and if they stay as the 10th seed, well, then they would go on the road to play Aitken, who they have played this season. So both these teams coming in here looking for their final win of the conference season and looking to end it on a high note. 6-5 are the Jaguars in the conference, and as we look at Pine City, they are 9-2 in conference play, but the East Central Eagles have received that conference crown. So the Eagles are Great River Conference champs this year, and it wasn't for a lack of trying by other teams. Other teams tried to knock them off, but East Central holds on, and they are Great River Conference champs this year. But for Hinckley-Finlayson, they'll play their last game next Thursday on the road at Uppsala. For Pine City, they'll play their last game on Tuesday at home against Esco. So only 2 games remaining, including this one for both of these teams, and it's sure to be a fun one for both of these teams. Of course, anytime you have a conference matchup between teams, it's always going to be a fun battle. It's always going to be close. It doesn't matter the records. It doesn't matter how one team looks over the other. Conference games always prove to be probably the most difficult other than playoffs. So for these two teams, it should be a fun one here tonight. And for Hinckley-Finlayson, this is a team who, when you look at their standings anyways, at their standings on MinnesotaScores.net, you can see kind of their points per game. And the points per game really doesn't show you how good this offense can be. They score about 61 points per game, give up about 66 points per game. They've had a couple of games where they've scored a lot higher than that. In fact, when they beat East Central on the road, they scored 90 points to beat the Eagles, to beat them 90-78. So this Hinckley-Finlayson team is not shy to having to put up a ton of points. So you just got to be wary of that. Of course, they can get their shooters out on the perimeter, but they like to attack inside as well. Jordan Masterson, their big man inside. Don't be shocked if he tries to take a shot from outside the paint every once in a while, because he's just that talented. He can go up and get the rebounds. He can play inside. He can play strong inside. So look for him to be a huge inside presence here this evening. For the Hinckley-Finlayson Jaguars. For the Pine City Dragons, it's going to be a fun one too. Again, their offense very, very high-powered, and they can get it done anywhere. You go inside to Riley Cummings, or you can go back outside to Luke Wilson or anyone else on this team for 3, including some of those bench guys. Or you can, again, go inside, and we've seen as of late Luke Wilson try and drive inside and get more of his inside game working. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of offense the Dragons start here tonight, whether they will try to go more inside to start with and then use that perimeter game more and more as the game wears on, or will they try that perimeter game to open up the middle and inside? We'll have to wait and see. For Hinckley-Finlayson, again, defense can be very good. You got Silas Lefebvre, who is a ball hawk on the defense. He is just, known for pickpocketing. That is what he does so well. And he does such a good job of doing that, but without grabbing a foul. So he is very good at that, and if you're Pine City, you're going to have to watch out for that. We've seen turnovers, a little bit of a problem as of late for Pine City, but if there's any time to correct those mistakes, it's now in this conference game against the Jaguars. If you are the Jaguars, this is the time to grab a big upset. And I know for them it wouldn't necessarily be a big upset, but this would be a huge win for them, especially to end the conference season over Pine City, especially at home with this fantastic crowd we have here this evening. Both teams are just about wrapped up with their pregame warm-ups. We will take a commercial break and hear a word from some of our fine sponsors, and then after that commercial break, we'll be back and ready for tip-off here on 106.5 FM AM 1350 WCMP, and of course WCMPradio.com.
This high school sports season, Wellia Health wants to remind you that they want to help your athletes stay in the game. Sports medicine services are available at every Wellia Health campus. Whether it's the young athlete, the weekend warrior, or the accomplished athlete, injuries can happen. Get back in the game by calling the sports medicine experts at Wellia Health, 320-679-1313. Wellia Health. Live life well.
Hey, I'm Chad Greenway. When I was playing, I loved chasing down running backs. But you shouldn't have to chase your bank around when you're buying a home. Franzen Bank & Trust Mortgage Consultants will be with you stride for stride, like a linebacker on a running back, from pre-approval to closing and beyond. Let Franzen Bank guide you through the mortgage process. Learn more at franzenbank.com/get there. Franzen Bank & Trust. Real people, real results. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Save now, plow now. Save now, mow later. The word to remember is save at Minnesota Equipment. End of the snow season means savings on all in-stock snow blowers. Top brands like Ariens and Toro. And if you're a get-a-jump-on-things type of person, get your new mower now and save before the grass starts growing. John Deere, Gravely, Toro, and more. Minnesota Equipment has the machines, experience, and inventory to help you get the job done in any season. Save now at Minnesota Equipment.
A&W Restaurant Pine City is still making fresh root beer, that signature item since 1919. It's still made fresh and on-site with real cane sugar and a blend of secret ingredients. It doesn't get any better than this. Their world-renowned A&W root beer is a classic treat, and they can top it off with creamy vanilla soft serve to be known as the famous A&W root beer float. Now that's smooth, tasty, and refreshing. An American iconic A&W root beer float. It never tasted so good. A&W Restaurant Pine City. Come grab your root beer float today.
Your tomorrow is important to Pine Insurance Agency and Grinnell Mutual. That's why you can trust us to provide you with personalized service and a full range of insurance coverages you can count on. We'll be there when you need us so you can trust in tomorrow. For all your insurance needs, contact Pine Insurance Agency, your local Grinnell Mutual agent at pineagency.us today. Trust in Tomorrow is a registered trademark of Grinnell Mutual Reinsurance Company.
Are you interested in a technical degree that can quickly help you land your dream career? Or maybe you've always dreamed of going to a four-year college, but you'd like to start close to home. Either way, Pine Technical and Community College has you covered. PTCC offers more than 50 degrees in hot fields like healthcare information technology, advanced manufacturing, and business. PTCC is now accepting applications. Financial aid may be available online at pine.edu. Starting out or starting over, find your future at Pine Technical and Community College.
Did you know that Franzen Bank & Trust is a Minnesota-owned company? And they're one of the largest community banks around. That's a great combination. As a community bank, they're dedicated to their customers and the communities they serve. You might say they're big enough to help, small enough to care. Last March, they provided $20,000 in grants to 6 different Minnesota communities. They also processed well over 1,700 PPP loans, allowing local small businesses to keep their employees on the payroll during the pandemic. Franzen Bank & Trust. Real people, real results. Member FDIC.
This high school sports season, Wellia Health wants to remind you that they want to help your athletes stay in the game. Sports medicine services are available at every Wellia Health campus. Whether it's the young athlete, the weekend warrior, or the accomplished athlete, injuries can happen. Get back in the game by calling the sports medicine experts at Wellia Health, 320-679-1313. Wellia Health. Live life well.
Hey, I'm Chad Greenway. When I was playing, I loved chasing down running backs. But you shouldn't have to chase your bank around when you're buying a home. Franzen Bank and Trust Mortgage Consultants will be with you stride for stride, like a linebacker on a running back, from pre-approval to closing and beyond. Let Franzen Bank guide you through the mortgage process. Learn more at franzenbank.com/get there. Franzen Bank and Trust. Real people, real results. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Back here on 106.5 FM, AM 1350, the site for tonight's boys basketball game in the Great River Conference between the Pine City Dragons visiting the Hinckley-Finlayson Jaguars. We're just about set for tip-off here inside Hinckley-Finlayson High School. And taking a look at your starting lineups here for the Pine City Dragons, who are head coached by Kyle Allen. They will be wearing their white away uniforms, their green letters and numbers outlined in black with that green stripe down the side. It'll be number 11, Ashton Seals. Number 14, Isaiah Haas. Number 23, Luke Wilson. Number 24, Lamont Sidney. And number 32, Riley Cummings. On the other side for the Hinckley-Finlayson Jaguars, who are head coached by Dan Kreft, wearing their home red uniforms with their black letters and numbers outlined in white. It'll be number 3, Silas Lefebvre. Number 11, Seth Olson. Number 25, Levi Degerstrom. Number 33, Everett Osmus. And number 50, Jordan Masterson. It is senior night here tonight for the Jaguars, and they honored their 3 seniors, Degerstrom, Osmus, and Masterson. And those 3 are starting here this evening. Of course, next year, I was counting, I think they're going to have 6 seniors in their next year's class. So next year should be another fun year for this Jaguars team. And the Dragons will have plenty of returners next year as well, but another decent size senior class for this Pine City group. So next year might be a little different starting 5 once again, but they did a good job of kind of getting through that new starting 5 lineup this year. So it'll be interesting to see how they'll be able to do that next year again, and I'm sure they'll be able to do pretty darn well just because they've got a good head coach in Kyle Allen, as do the Jaguars and their head coach Dan Kreft. I'll be interested to see what these 2 teams look like next year, and these 2 coaches are going to have 2 very, very competitive teams once again next season. Playoffs are fastly approaching, and shall be interesting to see where these 2 teams line up. Again, Pine City in the 11th spot in Section 6 AA, Hinckley-Finlayson in the 10th spot in Section 7 AA as well. So 18 minutes are up on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. Embrace Orthodontics custom braces or Invisalign with 3 locations in Pine City, Lindstrom, and Cambridge. EmbraceMN.com. The Jaguars will be going right to left on your radio dial. Dragons left to right. Or if you're a directions person, Jaguars will go south, or will go north rather, and the Dragons will go south. Cummings and Osmus at center court for tip-off, and we are underway, and tip-off is won by the Jags. It gets to Masterson, and it will get to Lefebvre. Lefebvre, again, one of the better ball handlers in their section and in their conference, and he'll get it off to Degerstrom on the far side. Degerstrom drifts towards the top of the key, now trying to drive inside, gives it out to Olson. Olson makes a man miss, goes inside to Masterson. Masterson looking, wanting to go outside the perimeter, now stops at the free throw line, gives it out to Degerstrom. Degerstrom on the near side. We'll drift to the far side, give it off to Olson for an early 3. That's no good, and Isaiah Haas with the first rebound of the game for the Dragons. He'll give it off to Wilson. Wilson will take it up on the near side. He'll take a early 3, and that looks on the mark, but it is just out. Rebounded here by Lamont Sidney. Lamont Sidney drives inside, opposite side of the court for 3 from Haas. That comes up just short. Wilson right there for the rebound. He looks for the shot. That's no good. Cummings came down with the rebound. Seals comes down with the rebound. No good. My goodness, plenty of opportunities there for the Dragons, but no one could get it to fall. And now Degerstrom on the far near side for 3. That's good. Wow. Plenty of opportunities there for the Dragons, missed, and they'll have to make sure that they're grabbing the rebounds here on offense and converting those points. They gave themselves about 3-4 second chances. Or I guess that would be 3-4 different chances, not second chances, but either way, they gave themselves plenty of chances, but just could not get that ball to drop through. And now Ashton Seals will look for three, and he answers with one. That barely hits anything. I mean, it hit the net, but it barely even hit the net. So Seals will tie it at 3, and already this one looks like a barn burner. Olsen up on that far side. He'll get by one defender. Now drive inside. That ball is tipped and stolen away by Riley Cummings. And now we're going to get a whistle as that ball went out of bounds. And it was last touched by a Dragon, so it will go back to the Jaguars. They get a huge break there. Now Seth Olsen wide open on the far side. Oh boy, drains it from 3. It's a 3 threes in a row. 2 for Hinckley-Finlayson and 1 for Pine City. Looks like we're in for a shooter's game here this evening. This one is stolen away by Jordan Masterson. And going the other way now are the Jaguars. Degersham on the near side. Ooh, pretty quick whistle there on that one. And I think they got Isaiah Haas there. They did. So Haas with his first foul and the team's first. Jaguars will inbound, and ooh, Olsen might have gotten away with just a tad bit of a travel. That 3-shot going to come up short. Rebound going to get out to Ashton Seals. Then he tried to get through a double team, and I don't know how to score that one. I think a steal for Osmus maybe? I don't know. As Seals got it, but then he went through a double team. He mishandled it, and then it went to Everett Osmus. Far side 3 from Seth Olsen, no good. And Luke Wilson comes up with the rebound. He's going to take it all the way himself. That ball is blocked by Silas Lefebvre, and the home crowd getting behind this Jaguars team just from outside the paint. Degersham for 2. Holy cow. 8-3, the Jaguars out early. The Jaguars are feeling themselves right now. And the last time I seen a game like this start this way for the Jaguars, they beat East Central 90-78. So Jaguars definitely feeling hot early on. The Dragons trying to settle things down on offense and find themselves an open shot. Wilson working on Silas Lefebvre, and Wilson loses the handle. He'll give it off to Haas. Now back to Wilson. Wilson on the near side. Oh, looks like we got an illegal screen there, possibly on Lamont Sidney. And when it rains, it pours if you're Pine City. Couple substitutions here for the Dragons. Charlie Osmus and Mason Charles check into the game. Charles has been out for a while. And a 3 again from Olsen. That one's no good. Rebounded there by Riley Cummings. Luke Wilson with it. Looks to drive inside. Gives out to Mason Charles. Now top of the key to Haas. Now back to Wilson. Wilson drives inside. Puts up a floater that drops in for 2. And back the other way, a 3 is no good, and the Dragons will just watch that one trek out of bounds, and they'll get the ball back. It's 8-5, the Hinckley-Finlayson lead. And now coming the other way are the Dragons. That shot is blocked and kept alive by the Jaguars. Jordan Masterson, he got the steal. The block by Seth Olsen, but then unable to keep it alive as Masterson traveled. Inbound here to Haas for 3. That's just off the mark. Riley Cummings will come down with the rebound. And now Luke Wilson will get it back. He gives it off to Mason Charles, far side. 3, no good. And coming up with the rebound is going to be Haas as it rolls to him. Luke Wilson a long 3 off the front of the rim and unable to get that shot to fall. Mason Charles nearly avoided disaster that time as he went for it hard on the far side, but unable to come up with it. So the Jaguars will have it back. Under 13 and a half now, just outside the paint. Degersham shot no good. Luke Wilson going to grab the rebound. Luke Wilson's going to take it to the basket, but he is fouled. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. So the first foul on the Jaguars here. Let's see who they get that one on. Seth Olson will be the guilty Jaguar, and Luke Wilson will set up for 2. First one is through. Make it 8-6. And a couple substitutions here for the Jags. Checking in is number 10 and 42. 10 is, of course, Trey Visser. 42 is Harrison Kreft. Second one is through as well for Luke Wilson, as he will make it 8-7. And that ball is going to be knocked out of bounds by Mason Charles. It will stay with the Jags. I apologize. I'm trying to catch up on my stats here. I've missed a couple of points, so I apologize. I've been misreading my own stat sheet. So either way, the Jaguars have it. They lead 8-7. A 3 on the far side from Silas Lefebvre is off the mark, and it's going to be Riley. No, dual possession. Riley Cummings had it, but it's going to be a jump ball call. Possession arrow favors the Dragons. 12:45 to go in the first half on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. Dragons trail by 1. Luke Wilson will bring it up the court for Pine City, and he'll just take a 3 opportunity from the top of the key that drops through. And a big shot there from Luke Wilson to give his team the 10-8 advantage now. Under 12.5 to go. Silas Lefebvre double team. He works on the far side, gives it off far side. Levi Degerstrom now to Trey Visser. Visser has it, brings it down. Now gives it off to Olson. He wanted to go to Lefebvre, instead takes it inside and drops it in for 2. Just a great move there by Seth Olson. And a smart move, because he thought about 3, could have passed it off to Lefebvre. Instead, he found the lane to the basket, took it himself, and dropped it in for 2. Under 12 minutes to go here in the first half on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. Luke Wilson takes it to the basket. He's going to be fouled and go to the line and shoot 2. Embrace Orthodontics, Dr. Sievers is committed to providing world-class orthodontic care in a friendly and comfortable atmosphere. Start today at EmbraceMN.com. That foul going to go on Silas Lefebvre, team's second. So the Dragons now at the line. It's Luke Wilson. Shot gets the friendly bounce, and that one will fall in to make it 11-10. Checking in is Nick Plajek and A.J. Austinson, as Luke Wilson makes them both to make it 12-10, and Jaguars have it the other way. Inside they go to Harrison Kreft, back outside to Griffin Steele, all the way around the perimeter. Now gets to Silas Lefebvre, inside to Trey Visser. A high arcing shot that is no good, and a rebound there by Lamont Sidney. I mean, the other way are the Dragons. Luke Wilson has it on the near side. He looks to drive inside. That ball is knocked away, stolen away by Levi Degerstrom. He'll take it to the basket. It's no good. And a whistle here. Looks like we got a foul on Hinckley-Finlayson. It'll be their team's third. And waiting the number, second for Silas Lefebvre, unfortunately. A little bit of a full court press here from the Jaguars on the Dragons, but they'll get it up to the front court now, do the Dragons. Luke Wilson gives it off far side to Austinson for 3, and that's good. A.J. Austinson for 3 makes it 15-10. And the Jaguars have it in their front court now. Griffin Steele has it on the near side, and a whistle blown. Looks like we're going to get a foul call here on Pine City. They lead 15-10. Under 11 minutes to go. 10:42 to be exact. Get a substitution. Jordan Masterson will check in for Harrison Kreft. And that foul is going to go against Nick Plajek of the Dragons. Inbound here, goes to Silas LaFave at the top of the key, gives it off to Degerstrom on the far side. Degerstrom will go back to LaFave, now inside to Masterson, now back to Degerstrom to LaFave. Looking, he has a man in the near side corner, and he lost the ball. Somehow falls on top of it, and somehow it gets to Steele, and a three from Degerstrom is no good. And we get a whistle. And we get a foul here on Pine City, we do. And Lamont Sidney in some pain there. In some serious pain on the far side. That foul going to go, by the way, on Luke Wilson, his first, team's fourth. So Lamont Sidney going to take a seat. He was in some pain. Head coach Kyle Allen was holding him up. He was trying to, I think, stretch something out, but we're not going to speculate as to what it is. Hopefully he's okay. Never want to see anybody injured. That's the last thing you want to have happen in a game. Never, ever want to see anybody injured. Hope he's all right and can get back out onto the court. Either way, the Jaguars have it inbounded, and now, going to get a whistle here, and I don't think are they going to get the basket to count? This will be interesting. So the fifth team foul here on Pine City, the second on Nick Plajek, and the basket does count there for Griffin Steele. I thought the foul had occurred beforehand, but they're going to say no. Griffin Steele misses the free throw, and it was rebounded by Jordan Masterson, and then it goes out of bounds. Last touch by the Jags. So 15-12 is the lead here for Pine City with 10:05 to go here in the first half. Dragons will get it inbounded to Luke Wilson, and now to A.J. Austinson. He has it near side. Nearly had it stolen away by Seth Olson. He's being, bullied right there by Seth Olson. He almost fell, but kept his legs underneath him, and now he'll give it off to Wilson. Wilson's going to take a long three again. That's off the front of the rim. Rebound up for grabs. It falls into the hands of Trey Visser. Visser with the rebound to Jordan Masterson. Masterson trying to go inside. Puts up a shot, no good. Nick Plajek with the rebound there for Pine City. Coming the other way with it is Luke Wilson. He lost it. It's Seth Olson with the steal. Now back the other way go the Jags. They trail by 3 with under 9.5 to go. Olson going to go inside to Masterson. Masterson, it was tipped and going to be stolen away here by Nick Plajek. Nick Plajek gives it off to Wilson. Wilson going around a couple of defenders, backs it out to Austinson. Austinson now back to Wilson on the near side. Wilson will drive inside through a couple of defenders. Shot is up, no good. Riley Cummings with the rebound. Now to Austinson. Austinson finds a lane to the basket, puts it up, and off the rim for 2. A.J. Austinson for 2 to make it 17-12. And the Jaguars have it in their front court with Silas LaFave. LaFave, he'll give it off on the near side to Steele. Now back to LaFave. Now to Visser. Visser goes to Seth Olson on the far side. Olson gets it around a couple of defenders. He'll drive inside, put up a shot. It's no good, but he's fouled and go to line to shoot 2. Seth Olson to go to line and shoot 2. And we will see who this one is on for the Dragons. It'll be their team's 6th foul. And that one's going to go on Riley Cummings. That first one is through from Seth Olson. And Seth Olson, no good on the second one. Rebound is grabbed there by Mason Charles. So Seth Olson makes 1 of 2, and the rebound again by Mason Charles. Dragons have it in their front court. Lamont Sidney back out there. A little bit of a stinger, but he's able to work himself back out onto the court. That shot is up, no good. It's going to be Griffin Steele with the rebound for Hinckley-Finlayson. And coming through the middle is Trey Visser, trying to get it to Masterson. He lost possession for a moment. Now he's looking to get it off to someone. He does to Visser. Visser finds a lane inside. And he has it knocked out, I think, by a hip of someone. Goes out of bounds, and it will be another foul here on Pine City. He'll go to line to shoot 2, but it'll be the 17th foul now on Pine City, the first on A.J. Austinson. Rebound-wise, it's all Pine City, but foul-wise, Pine City 7-3, and Also steals. The Jaguars have a ton of steals. They have 5 of them and 2 blocks. By the way, that was Visser who made the first, and he'll make them both. So Visser makes it a 17-15 game. Again, this one has the looks of going a long ways. Now under 8 minutes to go here in the first half. Dragons lead 17-15, and a 3 from Haas is just off the mark. Going to be rebounded there by Trey Visser. Now coming the other way is Seth Olson. Olson on the baseline, gets it out now to Levi Degerstrom. He fakes the 3. Great job by Lamont Sidney to not buy into the fake. And now it's on that far side to Steele. Now inside to Visser. Spin move, puts it up, no good. Off the front of the rim. Rebound still up for grabs. Still up for grabs. It's going to be Griffin Steele who comes down with it. They'll kind of reset the offense now, and Levi Degerstrom will have it. Give it off to Visser. Now to Olson. Olson on the near side finds a lane to the basket. He drives inside. That one's no good. And the rebound there by Mason Charles. Charles quickly up the court, and he'll slow things down. Give it off to Haas. Now off to Sidney. Sidney for 3 on the far side, and that's no good. Charlie Osmus right there for the rebound. He puts it back up and in for 2. 19-15 the lead here for Pine City. A little bit of a lower scoring first half for both of these teams, and Lamont Sidney read that one like a book. He'll take it to the basket. Oh, he lost it. He lost it on his way up to the basket. And had it taken away by Trey Visser, who looks for 3. That's no good. Jordan Masterson, tough inside, gets the steal and 2. Or I should say rebound. Rebound's as good as a steal, right? 19-17, the Dragons with the lead. It's Austinson with it for the Dragons. Now he'll give it off to Lamont Sidney. He's inside, lost possession of the ball. It's going to roll. It's going to be Jordan Masterson who picks it up. Jordan Masterson will get another steal for the Jags. That's his 3rd steal. And now they'll give it to Visser. Visser near side, looking to drive inside, gives it all the way across the court to Seth Olson, That rebound up for grabs, going to be pulled in by Griffin Steele. Now to Visser, now to Degerstrom. Degerstrom top of the key. Under 6 minutes to go now here in the first half. 19-17, Dragons with the lead. Jaguars, Olson drives inside, backs it out to Masterson, now to Degerstrom. Got a man, it's Griffin Steele. He'll pull it down. Now give it off to Visser. Far side to Olson. Olson will take it to the top of the key. Bounce pass to Visser. Nearly stolen away by Austinson. Visser has it back. Stands at the 3-point line. He'll give it off to Degerstrom. Going to get a timeout here. Whoo! The action in this one has been furious. Fast and furious here in this one. It's a 19-17 lead for the Dragons with 5.5 minutes to go. Timeout called here by Hinckley-Finlayson. It'll be their first. They'll be left with 4. And on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard, Dragons lead 19-17. Embrace Orthodontics helping you find a smile you'll embrace forever. They also have your customized smile journey starting with them. The team at Embrace Orthodontics wants to make your journey as seamless and convenient as possible with custom braces or Invisalign. You can find out more at EmbraceMN.com. That's EMBRACEMN.com. It has been action-packed. It has been a lot of fun to watch, and it's a lower scoring first half, but a lot of action that has been had me at times with my head backwards. I've just been having a tough time keeping up with it. 19-17, 5:31 to be exact to go here in the first half. This the last conference game of the season between both of these teams, and you can tell both of these teams want it just as much as the other. And both only have one game left after this. Jaguars on the road to Uppsala, Pine City at home against Esko. Jaguars will play next Thursday, Pine City at home on Tuesday. Seth Olson, quick 3 from the near side. That's no good. And rebound there by Luke Wilson. Luke Wilson will take it up the court. Pauses it. Stolen away by Trey Visser. Visser back the other way. A 2 from Degerstrom just inside the paint. That's no good. And it's going to be Nick Plajic who comes down with the rebound for Pine City. Back up. Front court, Pine City. Luke Wilson has it far side. Clock ticking under 5 minutes to go now. Luke Wilson gives it off to Isaiah Haas. Haas back to Wilson, and now on the near side. Wilson gets a screen. He'll step back 3. That's off the front of the rim, and Wilson gets his own rebound. He drives inside. Reverse layup is good. Luke Wilson, a nice rebound, hustled after that one, and then a nasty reverse layup to get that one to fall. 21-17 is the lead for Pine City. Jaguars have it. Levi Degerstrom gives it off to LaFave, pulls it in one-handed. Now gives it off to Seth Olson, to Everett Osmus, now to Silas LaFave, now to Seth Olson for three. That's just off the mark, and Levi Degerstrom going to pull down the rebound here for Hinckley-Finlayson. He gives it out to LaFave. LaFave along two. That's going to be no good, and Riley Cummings, easy rebound. And back the other way come the Dragons. It's Luke Wilson on that far side. Gives it off to Haas. Haas wanted the three, but gives it off to Wilson. Wilson will now give it off to Cummings. No, screen by Cummings, and now Wilson gives it out to Cummings. Cummings gives it to Osmus, shooting inside. That shot's no good. It's Nick Plajek with the rebound now to Luke Wilson on the far side for three. That's no good. Great box out by the Jaguars, but I think the Dragons nearly came up with it, but we're going to get a foul call here, looks like on the Dragons. I don't think it's a 1-and-1 yet because the Jaguars didn't have possession, did they? Or are they going to say they had possession? I didn't think they had possession to call 1-and-1, but I guess they do. So they had enough of possession to call a 1-and-1. By the way, that foul goes on Riley Cummings, his second, team's eighth. Interesting. I didn't know if Hinckley-Finlayson had enough of possession for that to be called, but they do, as Everett Osmus will shoot a 1-and-1. That shot is no good. Nick Plajek comes down with the rebound. And it's the Dragons up with it the other way. Now it's Luke Wilson, top of the key, gives it off to Isaiah Haas, now to Luke Wilson. Wilson gets a screen from Cummings, but Silas LaFave works around it. Wilson will reset things, get the call from Kyle Allen, now gives it off to Haas on the far side. Haas, drifting top of the key, gives it to Plajek. Plajek to Wilson. Wilson trying to drive inside, gets through some traffic, puts up a shot, no good. Tipped rebound, goes to Silas LaFave. LaFave, he'll take it all the way. Spin move, oh my goodness, and it falls through. Woo, nasty spin move there by Silas LaFave to make it 21-19. He's probably got the best spin move in the conference, honestly, and nice one there to draw them within two. And Nick Plajek could not hang on to possession there for Pine City, and the Jaguars get it back with under 3 minutes to go. They trail by two. Tough first half here for the Dragons turnover-wise. There's a bunch. There is a bunch. There's 8 of them here in the first half. And that's just steals by Hinckley-Finlayson. 21-19, great passing by the Jaguars. Silas LaFave will pull up just outside the paint. That shot is no good. And we get it on the court. We're going to get a jump ball. Possession arrow favors the Jags, so they'll hold on to it. 21-19. Jaguars trail. Masterson will check back in for Everett Osmus. This is a close one. It's been a fun one so far, and let's see what both these teams can do here as we get towards the halfway mark in the game. As that inbound is knocked out of bounds by Mason Charles. Charles has missed the last couple games here for Pine City with an injury, but they're happy to have him back. And Jaguars will inbound it. It's Degerstrom to LaFave, and he'll get it off now to Chase Clare, wearing that number 5. A three from LaFave is good. And that gives Hinckley-Finlayson the 22-21 lead. A three there is no good. And we're going to get a foul here on Hinckley-Finlayson. I believe that's going to go on Levi Degerstrom as he got a little bit of a push off there on the rebound. It is Levi. So Degerstrom with his first foul, team's 4th. Gives it off, inbound, to Austinson to Lamont Sidney. Technically it was nothing but net, but it didn't go through the rim. Rebound there by Levi Degerstrom, and now he'll give it off far side to, Visser. Now inside to Clare, now inside to LaFave. He shoots inside and puts it up and in for 2. And all of a sudden, the momentum has drastically changed sides, and it's kind of felt that way early on with all the turnovers that Hinckley-Finlayson has created. It just felt like they've been that close to really turning the tide, and there they do here late in the first half, under 2 minutes to go. Wilson on the far side. They're going to get an illegal screen here on Pine City. Oh, my goodness. That'll be the 9th team foul, and Cummings with his 3rd. He'll have to come sit the rest of the first half. Minute 48 left, but he'll have 3 going into the second half. Not ideal. Jaguars get it inbounded. They lead by 3, 24-21. Closing in on a minute and a half to go. Olsen has it, gives it off far side to Levi Degerstrom. And that one's no good, luckily enough for the Dragons. Oh my goodness, Jordan Masterson. I mean, the Dragons had the rebound. He simply stole it away. Put it up and in for 2. And when momentum is shifted, man, oh man, can one team really take over? Isaiah Haas near side for 3. That rolls off the top of the rim, no good. And that's going to be the team's 10th foul here on Pine City, so 2 for Chase Clare. Great pass from Luke Wilson to Isaiah Haas, just off the mark, and then for the Dragons, it's been a little bit of a struggle from outside the perimeter shooting so far in the first half as Clare gets that first one to fall, make it 27-21 in favor of the Jags. It's been a fun first half here between these two teams, it really has, and Clare will only get 1 of 2. That rebound still up for grabs. Give it to Isaiah Haas, though. And now we're going to get a whistle. Did he step on the line? He did. So Haas tried to keep himself from going out of bounds. I thought he had it off before, but they did not. Or he did not, rather. And they will get it inbounded here. The Jaguars, it's Degerstrom, and now back to Degerstrom. Nearly stolen away by Austinson, but Degerstrom gets it back now to Masterson, and Masterson will give it off to Visser. Visser now to Olsen. What a fun first half it has been. These two teams going strong at it. That one going to be knocked out by Austinson, and Austinson thought it was last touch by Olsen. I think Olsen might have thought that as well, but it stays with the Jags as they say it went off a Dragon. 47 seconds to go here in the first half. And the Jaguars will get it up, back inbounded. Now on the far side to Clare, now to Olsen. Olsen, under 40 seconds to go. Trying to get out of that far side corner, gives it off here to Trey Visser, but it's knocked out of bounds by A.J. Austinson. And Austinson has come in off the bench here in this first half and has created some problems on the defense for Hinckley-Finlayson. He's been kind of a thorn in their side, whether it's tipping the ball or he's just been tight on defense. He's going to be a guy who might just step up here and create some plays for Pine City defensively. Jaguars do have it with under 30 seconds to go now dropping under 20. Jaguars looking probably for that last shot of the first half. Masterson, spin move away. They'll give it back inside to Masterson off the backboard. No good. And that rebound goes to Austinson. Austinson with the rebound. He'll give it up the court now. It's Austinson, no good. And Haas with the rebound, but he's fouled. And he'll go to line and shoot 2. A strong rebound there by Haas, and now he'll go to the free throw line and shoot 2. They needed that one, did the Dragons, and Haas is at the line. The 5th foul for Hinckley-Finlayson, and the guilty one is Seth Olsen. He'll have 2, as does Silas Lefebvre, but now Haas at the line to shoot 2. First one's up and good. Make it 27-22. Still in favor of the Jaguars with 5.4 seconds to go on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. Embrace Orthodontics, they'll do all the insurance heavy lifting for you. And if you don't have insurance, ask about financing options. They'll find a plan to fit your budget. Haas no good on the second, but Osmus, he got the rebound and no good. And that last second shot will not fall there for Hinckley-Finlayson. But the Jaguars do lead here at halftime over the Pine City Dragons, 27-22. You are listening to boys basketball here on 106.5 FM AM 1350, or maybe you're watching it live via YouTube, via our website, WCMPradio.com. Either way, thanks so much for joining in here tonight. The Jaguars lead over the Pine City Dragons at halftime, 27-22. We will take a commercial break. I'll recap the stats here and try and catch up if I can, and then we'll take a breath. We'll take a breather, hear from our fine sponsors, and then when we come back, we'll recap the first half. We'll give you some keys, in my opinion, for the second half for both of these teams to try and get the win here tonight. And then we should be set for second half action inside Hinckley-Finlayson High School. So we'll take about a 2.5-minute commercial break, and then we'll be back with second half with our recap here of the first half after that short commercial break. You're listening to Boys Basketball on WCMP.
Save now, plow now. Save now, mow later. The word to remember is save at Minnesota Equipment. End of the snow season means savings on all in-stock snowblowers. Top brands like Ariens and Toro. And if you're a get a jump on things type of person, get your new mower now and save before the grass starts growing. John Deere, Gravely, Toro, and more. Minnesota Equipment has the machines, experience, and inventory to help you get the job done in any season. Save now at Minnesota Equipment.
A&W Restaurant Pine City is still making fresh root beer, that signature item since 1919. It's still made fresh and on-site with real cane sugar and a blend of secret ingredients. It doesn't get any better than this. Their world-renowned A&W root beer is a classic treat, and they can top it off with creamy vanilla soft serve to be known as the famous A&W root beer float. Now that's smooth, tasty, and refreshing. An American iconic A&W root beer float. It never tasted so good. A&W Restaurant Pine City. Come grab your root beer float today.
Your tomorrow is important to Pine Insurance Agency and Grinnell Mutual. That's why you can trust us to provide you with personalized service and a full range of insurance coverages you can count on. We'll be there when you need us so you can trust in tomorrow. For all your insurance needs, contact Pine Insurance Agency, your local Grinnell Mutual agent at pineagency.us today. Trust in Tomorrow is a registered trademark of Grinnell Mutual Reinsurance Company.
Are you interested in a technical degree that can quickly help you land your dream career? Or maybe you've always dreamed of going to a four-year college, but you'd like to start close to home. Either way, Pine Technical and Community College has you covered. PTCC offers more than 50 degrees in hot fields like healthcare information technology, advanced manufacturing, and business. PTCC is now accepting applications. Financial aid may be available online at pine.edu. Starting out or starting over, find your future at Pine Technical and Community College.
Did you know that Franzen Bank and Trust is a Minnesota-owned company? And they're one of the largest community banks around. That's a great combination. As a community bank, they're dedicated to their customers and the communities they serve. You might say they're big enough to help, small enough to care. Last March, they provided $20,000 in grants to 6 different Minnesota communities. They also processed well over 1,700 PPP loans, allowing local small businesses to keep their employees on the payroll during the pandemic. Franzen Bank and Trust. Real people, real results. Member FDIC.
This high school sports season, Wellia Health wants to remind you that they want to help your athletes stay in the game. Sports medicine services are available at every Wellia Health campus. Whether it's the young athlete, the weekend warrior, or the accomplished athlete, injuries can happen. Get back in the game by calling the sports medicine experts at Wellia Health, 320-679-1313. Wellia Health. Live life well.
Back here on WCMP 106.5 FM, AM 1350, and of course WCMPradio.com. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm Ethan Game Day Gilman, bringing you all the action from tonight's Great River Conference matchup between the Hinckley-Finlayson Jaguars and the Pine City Dragons. So the Jaguars lead here at the half, 27-22. Pine City had the lead there throughout basically the entire first half. But with about 2.5, 3 minutes left, Jaguars started to take over, and it was the turnovers that really were the deciding factor in that first half, and that's what led to Hinckley-Finlayson getting on a little bit of a run there to end the first half to get them up by 5 over Pine City. Looking at the stat leaders here in the first half, for the Dragons, it is 11 points for Luke Wilson, then 5 for A.J. Austinson, 3 for Ashton Seals, 2 for Charlie Osmus, and 1 for Isaiah Haas. Rebound-wise, well, they lead the rebound stats by an insane margin, but they only have 3 steals, and they had over 10 team fouls. On the other side, for the Jaguars, they had plenty to talk about. It was Silas Lefebvre, though, who led the team with 7, 6 for Seth Olson, 5 for Levi Degerstrom, 4 for Jordan Masterson, 2 for Trey Visser and Griffin Steele, and then 1 for Chase Clare. Rebound-wise, it wasn't as impressive, but again, they lead because of the turnovers, 8 steals, and again, these are unofficial stats, so it could be more than that for the Jaguars. They also had 3 blocks in that first half that really helped them get to take the ball away even more, and that's what led to them getting on that little bit of a run there to end the first half and now lead by 5 points. I mean, you look at it, they've hit a couple of threes, in fact 3 of them to be exact in that first half, but it's been their work inside, their ability to get again, they're not getting a ton of rebounds, but when they do get the rebounds, they're creating those second chance opportunities and converting those second chance opportunities. For Pine City, they've got the second chance opportunities on some rebounds, but they're not converting on those and creating points, and that's probably been the biggest factor along with the rebounds here, or the turnovers, is the fact that they're getting the rebounds. They're just not creating points off those second, third, fourth chance opportunities are the Dragons. And if they can turn that around a little bit here in the second half, man, they could really push things their way. Of course, shooting outside the perimeter has been a little bit tricky here in the first half for Pine City. It's been about 50%, just a little bit under, which is still really good if you're talking about shooting from beyond the perimeter. But for Pine City, they definitely want to see that increase. They haven't had the greatest of opportunities outside, and when they have, they just haven't converted as often as they would like to, and they'll definitely talk about that here in the second half. So looking at both of these teams coming in to the second half here, for the Pine City Dragons, I think on defense, you're definitely going to have to defend inside and work at not allowing Masterson inside. Again, I talked about him pregame. He is a big presence inside, and he just does his job so well. He does all the right things, and a lot of times, again, those guys won't get all the stats on the stat sheet at the end of the night, but what they do is they do their job perfect. They do their job so well that they create opportunities for everyone else, or they just make a play on defense without making a steal or a block. They're just in the correct position to help somebody else make that play. And I think if you're Pine City, one of the things you're going to have to do is watch them to drive inside. Pine City has allowed a lot of lanes open inside, so they're going to have to shut things down. But the problem with that is you can't leave their perimeter open either, because they've got shooters who can shoot from beyond the arc as well. So going to have to be a little bit of a balancing act. I know they like to be a little bit aggressive, but I think you're going to have to cut off the lanes inside if you're Pine City and kind of take your chances on the perimeter, because Hinckley-Finlayson, they didn't start the game real well from beyond the arc. It was more or less the inside the paint game that was working. And also give credit to Hinckley-Finlayson, because they're doing a good job of just taking open shots when they present themselves. They're not double clutching. They're not, looking to maybe push it back outside for three. Instead, if they're wide open from where they're sitting, they're just taking the shot, and more times than not, it's falling through the net. So for Hinckley-Finlayson, give them credit on that. They've done a good job of just taking what Pine City has given them. And as we talk about that, let's shift our focus to Hinckley-Finlayson, because I think that's one of the keys here in the second half for them. Just take what Pine City's given you. There's no need to press things inside. There's no need to force the three. Just take what Pine City gives you. If they're giving you a lane inside, take it. If they're leaving you wide open outside the arc, take those shots. So for Hinckley-Finlayson, I don't think there's much they need to change here in the second half besides just take what Pine City gives you on offense. Defensively, obviously, you're going to have to watch out for the three. Pine City's going to lean on that heavily here in the second half, because sooner than later, the more and more Pine City hammers away at that three, the more and more shots are going to fall for Pine City. And if that starts to happen, well, there's not a lot of hope for teams, because when Pine City gets on a roll from three, holy cow, they are so tough to stop. And it's a momentum thing. They get momentum, and it's, one shot. It can be a block. It can be a steal, whatever it is. But once they hit that momentum-changing shot from three, it's almost good night, because they go on a run, and it's a long run, too. So if you're Hinckley-Finlayson, make sure they don't get anything easy from three. Make sure that, you're guarding them well. I think you just got to continue what you've done here in the first half into the second half if you're Hinckley-Finlayson, because it's been working, and you've got a 5-point lead. 18 minutes are back on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. Embrace Orthodontics, custom braces or Invisalign with 3 locations in Pine City, Lyncham, and Cambridge. EmbraceMN.com. We will try to get a word post-game from head coach Kyle Allen and our A&W player of the game. If not, there are other avenues to try and get that interview and our A&W player of the game. Of course, that'll be post-game, and now we're getting set for a second half action. This should be fun. Pine City looking for their 10th win in conference play. Hinckley-Finlayson their 7th. But either way, this is the last one for both of them, and I can't imagine how either team would feel, especially after a win here tonight. Shot up is no good, and Silas Lefebvre going to draw the early foul there on his team. So Lefebvre will be the guilty Jaguar, and that'll be his 3rd and the team's first here. Oh, whoa. You're going to get that on Olsen. Okay. Wow, I thought it was all LaFave, but they got Olsen on that one. That's all right. I've been wrong once or twice. So 27-22. Dragons, a three from Lamont Sidney's no good. Riley Cummings pulls down the rebound. He'll give it off to Luke Wilson. Wilson now in the near side corner for Ashton Seals. He wanted to go back to Sidney, now gives it to Wilson. Wilson wanted a three. He'll go back to Sidney for three. That's off the mark, and LaFave with the rebound. LaFave gives it off to Visser, and Visser drops it in for two. And momentum still with the Jaguars here as we move forward in this second half. 29-22, Jaguars with the lead. Isaiah Haas looking to drive inside, backs it out to Seals, now to Sidney. Sidney trying to drive inside himself. He gets it off, and he's fouled. Now he'll go to line and shoot two. So that first foul was not a shooting foul by Seth Olsen, but this one is, and it will be their team's second of this half, and the second on Levi Degerstrom. Lamont Sidney at the line to shoot two. First one is up. Oh, and no good. So no good on the first is Lamont Sidney, but he will drop the second one through to make it 29-23. And back come the Jaguars up the front court. It's Seth Olsen. Takes it on that far side. He'll give it to Visser. Visser, he'll give it, wanted Olsen, and now got a whistle on Pine City. I didn't see what happened, but it's Ashton Seals with his first foul. I didn't see what had happened. Maybe a violation or a push, either way. Three here on the inbound from Silas LaFave, no good. Riley Cummings with the rebound there for Pine City. And that ball going to go out of bounds, last touched by the Jags. So we'll stay with Pine City. Dragons catch a break, and they have to capitalize off of that. They caught a couple breaks there in the first half and couldn't quite capitalize off of them. So we'll see if they can here. Lamont Sidney in the face of pressure. It's no good. It's rebounded by Levi Degerstrom, and here comes LaFave, and he'll drop it in for two. Again, the momentum heavily favoring the Jaguars right now. They lead 31-23. That three, no good, and Masterson didn't even see the rebound, and nearly rebounded by the Jaguars, but it'll be knocked out of bounds by Hinckley-Finlayson. But now they're going to come together and talk. This might go back to Hinckley-Finlayson. They might say this is Jaguar ball. Yep. I kind of thought so. I was going to say I didn't. That was close, but I do think that's the correct call. I did think Pine City touched it last, and if you're Pine City, that's not what you want to see. But I think, again, it's the right call. Give credit to the refs. A great call there. And just their ability to come together, talk about it, and figure it out. And, again, you got to give credit to the referees there. Shot is up and no good by Degerstrom. Rebounded by Lamont Sidney. He'll take it the other way for Pine City. He'll drive inside. Laid up, no good! Trey Visser will get the rebound, and man, oh man, Pine City can't get anything to fall right now. Degerstrom, could have been a foul on the rebound there, but rebounded by Cummings. Back the other way for the Dragons. Luke Wilson takes it inside, and he'll put it up and in for two. Finally got something to roll and fall in to make it 31-25. Still in favor of the Jags, though, here. Under 15 and a half to go. Seth Olsen gives it off to Visser, and Visser will Visser will drop it in for two, and then I think they got a foul on Lamont Sidney, which I'm going to respectfully disagree with that one. I can understand the call, but I don't know. Respectfully disagree. So that'll be his second and the team's second here of this half. We got a timeout called here. Didn't see who got that timeout called. I believe it was Pine City. May have been Hinckley-Finlayson. We'll find out here in a second. No, it was Pine City. As they take the timeout off the board for Pine City. They're left with four. Both teams are. It's 33-25 with 15 and a half to go here in this half. And the Jaguars out to an 8-point lead and could possibly stretch it even further. I don't know Again, that foul was after the shot, so I don't know if they're going to give him 2 or what's going to go on here, but we'll wait and see. Timeout called, though, by Hinckley-Finlayson with 15:30 to go. They lead 33-25 on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. So the Jaguars will be at the free throw line. It's Trey Visser. He will drop it in. So a 3-point play there for Trey Visser to make it 34-25. Now a 9-point lead here for Hinckley-Finlayson. Luke Wilson gives it off to Haas. Haas back to Wilson. Wilson on the far side. Gets around one defender, now drives inside. He'll take it to the basket. A little floater's up and in for 2. And that's one thing that Hinckley-Finlayson will also have to watch out for is Pine City allowing Pine City's Luke Wilson to take over. Can't allow him to do that. Inside to Masterson, whose shot is up and no good. It's going to be rebounded here by Isaiah Haas. And now he'll give it off to Luke Wilson, who takes it up the other way on the far side, gets a screen. He'll put up a 3. That's going to be no good. And the rebound there. Oh, who is that? Who is? Ooh. I don't know about that one. They're going to get Charles for the foul there. Unless he pushed off before he went up for the rebound, I didn't see anything there. So I'll have to respectfully disagree on that one. Again, unless he pushed him before he went up for the rebound, I didn't really see anything. He'll go inside. Masterson left wide open inside for 2. It's back to a 9-point lead now for Hinckley-Finlayson, 36-27. Isaiah Haas, Charlie Osmus, now to Luke Wilson. Luke Wilson to Isaiah Haas for 3. That's off the mark, but Riley Cummings for 2. Nice rebound there by Cummings. He puts it back up and in for 2. 36-29. Been all Hinckley-Finlayson since about 2.5, 3 minutes left there in that first half. Olsen gets a screen from Visser. He'll give it inside to Visser. Now inside. Oh, you can't leave Masterson that wide open. Left alone inside for 2. They're just going to continue to go back and forth with this 9-point lead if they leave Masterson open like that. Nice shot and nice passing by Hinckley-Finlayson to get him open. Haas will get the pass from Wilson, now to Charles, now to Wilson. Wilson now to Haas. Haas gives it back to Wilson. Wilson wanted 3. Instead, he's looking to drive inside. He'll put up a floater, no good. Masterson with the rebound. Lefebvre drives inside, hands it off to Degersham. Ooh, they're going to get Haas for a foul. Now, are they going to get the shot to count? No. So Haas with his second. Shot doesn't count, so they will inbound, will the Jaguars. It's still 38-29 as the shot came after the foul. Degersham will inbound to Olsen. Olsen's going to be double teamed and now gives it off to Masterson. Now out to Lefebvre on the far side for 3. That's no good. Lamont Sidney going to bring in the rebound for Pine City. Gives it off to Wilson. Wilson finds a lane inside, drives to the basket. No good! And Trey Visser with the rebound. Oh my goodness. Pine City can't catch a basket if they bought one. No good on that one. The shot from Visser is no good. Lamont Sidney with the rebound. Sidney will take it to the front court. He lost it. It goes through a couple of legs, and it is stolen away by Masterson. Oh my. Oh, they're going to get a goaltending by Luke Wilson. I don't think that ball was going to fall through either way. I don't think. Oh. I didn't think that ball was going to fall through. But I do think it is going to be 40-29. Scoreboard hasn't been updated yet. Mont Sidney, no good. He's fouled. He'll go to line for 2. There it is. So 40-29 it is. That foul goes on Steele, his first, team's third. First shot is up and no good by Lamont Sidney. 40-29, and Sidney trying to make it a 10-point deficit now. He does. So 40-30 is now the score. Pine City trails by 10. Hinckley-Finlayson has it. It's Degersham. He'll give it out to Steele. Now inside to Visser. Now to Everett Osmus for two. That's no good. Lamont Sidney, he couldn't pull it down cleanly. It'll roll out to Wilson. Wilson gives it up to Sidney, who will drop it through for two. 40-32. Hinckley-Finlayson back up with it. Lefebvre will give it to Osmus. Now to Degersham. He wants to go to Lefebvre. He'll give it out to Visser. Top the key for three. That's good. You can't leave any of those guys wide open at the top of the key like that. Like I've mentioned before, they've got guys all around who can hit those threes, and they do right there to make it an 11-point lead now for the Jaguars. Under 12 minutes to go on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard as the Dragons drive inside. Luke Wilson, no good, and Trey Visser with the rebound. Visser will take it up the court. Behind the back pass to Lefebvre, that's no good. And Lamont Sidney couldn't grab the rebound cleanly. So the ball will stay with the Jags. Get a couple of substitutions here from Pine City. Charles and Austinson and Osmus will check into the game. Pass inside to Lefebvre. He's double teamed. Got a timeout. Yes, looks like a timeout. I think timeout called by Hinckley-Finlayson. With 11:27 to go, 43-32 is the lead here for Hinckley-Finlayson on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. Dr. Sievers is committed to providing world-class orthodontic care in a comfortable and friendly atmosphere. You can start today at EmbraceMN.com. So the Dragons trail by 11 here. Hinckley-Finlayson, certainly the home atmosphere has created a problem. Inbound here to Lefebvre. He'll get it quickly to Osmus. Now out to Steele. Steele couldn't grab it in cleanly. He'll look for Lefebvre. He'll give it to Lefebvre. Lefebvre trying to drive inside. It's going to be stolen away here by Mason Charles. Puts it up and in for two. Nice job there by Charles to grab the steal. Get that one in for two. And he'll cut it down now to 9 again. 43-34. Dagerstrom. He'll bring it to the front court. Gives it to Lefebvre. Lefebvre drifts to the far side, gives it to Claire. Claire now inside, gives it back out to Dagerstrom. Dagerstrom goes to Steele, inside to Osmus. That one's no good. It's rebounded by Haas. Haas going to be fouled. Haas will be fouled, and the Dragons will get set to inbound. It'll be the fourth team foul here on Hinckley-Finlayson, the second for Griffin Steele. And the Dragons have it back in the front court. He'll give it off to Lamont Sidney. That's an air ball. Charlie Osmus with the rebound. Back out to Charlie Osmus on the pass from Haas. And that's good from three. Charlie Osmus for three. Makes it 43-37. Jaguars come back the other way. It's Silas Lefebvre. Lefebvre will give it off to Steele. Steele looks, goes inside to Osmus, back outside to Degerstrom on the far side, pulls down the three, gives it off to Steele. Steele now to Lefebvre. Lefebvre, top of the key, he drifts to the near side, looks, goes inside, that ball's tipped and taken back by Lefebvre. Now to Steele. Steele gives it off to Claire. Claire fakes the three, drives inside, back out to Lefebvre. Lefebvre, a college three, that's no good off the mark, and Lefebvre, the three is no good, and it was Griffin Steele who nearly got the rebound. He went hard after it, but just couldn't keep it alive, and Dragons will get it back. Under 10 minutes to go. Dragons have it. Charlie Osmus gives it off far side to Riley Cummings. Cummings will give it to Isaiah Haas, who nearly got it stolen away. Gives it off to Osmus for 3. That's through. Charlie Osmus. There's kind of the momentum-changing 3 as I was talking about before. That makes it 40-43. And a foul there on Isaiah Haas. Got a little bit too much into Claire there, and that'll be the 5th team foul on Pine City, and it'll be Haas's 3rd. If that's, in fact, who they call it on, which I believe it is. They gave it to... Yeah, they did give it to Haas. Okay. I think they put a foul up that they didn't need to on one side. That's okay, though. And, foul there, Nick Plajic. Plajic going hard after the ball. Lefebvre got his body in front of him, and that's going to be a foul on Plajic. I like that foul, though. Plajic going hard after it. As a coach, you're never going to be upset with that kind of play and that kind of foul because he's just going hard after the ball on that one. And because if he steals that, it's an easy 2, but just got a little into the body. Olsen will get the inbound here. Now he'll try to work inside. He gives it off to Osmus. That ball's tipped, stolen away by Nick Plajic. Plajic will take it, and no good on his shot. Riley Cummings will get the rebound. And now back out to Luke Wilson, and they're going to get him for a travel, I think. Oh, no. Oh, they're going to get a foul here on Hinckley-Finlayson. That'll go on Chase Clare, his first. And the team's at 5th. And it's Luke Wilson at the line to shoot 2 off the front of the rim, no good. So if you are Hinckley-Finlayson right now, I think you're okay with sending Pine City to the line because they've struggled from 3 free throws here tonight. Under that halfway point in this second half, 8:58 to go. And Luke Wilson, he does not get either of them to fall. Ball will go back to Hinckley-Finlayson as that rebound was knocked out of bounds by Pine City. Under 9 minutes to go, 43-40, the lead for Hinckley-Finlayson. Embrace Orthodontics, helping you find a smile you'll embrace forever. Jaguars have it in their front court. Silas Lefebvre. He's going to be the guy you have to watch out for, including Masterson inside. Masterson's been a beast inside here tonight. Visser will give it to Seth Olsen. Olsen from 3. That's good. You can't leave him open either. Seth Olsen will drain those, so those momentum-changing 3s did not become as much of a problem for Hinckley-Finlayson as one might have thought. They lead 46-40. Osmus gives it to Wilson. Wilson thought about 3. Now he'll drive, kind of going inside. He'll give it off to Plajic. Plajic gives it out to Haas. Haas looking. He'll find a way inside. Gives it off to Osmus. That's going to be off the mark. And that rebound is taken in by Jordan Masterson. And now to Visser. Visser will give it off to Seth Olsen for 3. And he's feeling himself. Talk about momentum-changing 3s. Those are 2 big ones by Seth Olsen. Make it 49-40. Thought I heard a whistle, but it must have been just a shoe squeak. Charlie Osmus gets the pass from Luke Wilson. He has it front court. Gives it off to Luke Wilson now. He's on the near side, looking, trying to find a way around Lefebvre. Looks for a screen from Cummings. Now he'll drive inside just a little bit. He'll give it back out to Osmus, who shoots another 3. That's good. Charlie Osmus from 3. You might just need to start feeding Osmus because he has hit 3 threes now for Pine City for 9 points. And it's still a 6-point lead, though, for Hinckley-Finlayson. Under 7.5 to go. Seth Olsen looks to drive inside. Shot is up. No good. Rebound. Riley Cummings. Whew, that was a tough rebound. Looked like Masterson was going to have it, but it's Riley Cummings. Haas from Wilson. Back to Wilson for 3. That's good. Luke Wilson, that's a big 3 from him. A big 3 to pull this game back within 3 for Pine City. 49-46. Jaguars with the lead. Dipping under 7 minutes to go here in the in the second half, and a timeout called here by Hinckley-Finlayson. Wow. These last 3 minutes have just been insane between these two teams. Charlie Osmus has hit 3 threes. And then you got Luke Wilson, who just hit a big 3 there to pull them back within 1 possession. But then you've got Seth Olsen for Hinckley-Finlayson, who just hit 2 threes to pull them out to a 9-point lead. So it has been a wild ride here in the second half. It was a 27-22 lead for Hinckley-Finlayson coming out of the first half. They pretty much took over control again to begin the second half, but we're in for a wild last 6 minutes and 59 seconds here in this game. Do have to be careful for a couple of players. 3 fouls for both Seth Olson and Silas Lefebvre. On the other side for Pine City, 3 for Isaiah Haas and Riley Cummings, along with Nick Plajek. Brace Orthodontics scoreboard reads Jaguars 49, Dragons 46, and Brace Orthodontics helping you find a smile and embrace forever. Find out more at embracemn.com. Jaguars still not out of their huddle yet. They've got a couple more seconds to get out back to the court. And they were the ones who called that timeout. They'll have 2 left here in the game, as they will get set to inbound. Both teams have their new strategies as how they'll go about these last 6 minutes, 59 seconds. Jaguars will get it inbound here to Lefebvre, who starts in the backcourt. Now bring it to the front court. He picks up his dribble, gives it off to Visser. Visser now to Olson. Olson, he'll drift towards the back, or top of the key, excuse me. He'll give it now back to Visser for 3. That's off the mark. Rebound there by Lamont Sidney. Big rebound there by Lamont Sidney. He'll quickly run up the court. Give it off to Luke Wilson. Luke Wilson will drive inside. Nice Euro step. Drops it in for 2, and they pull within 1. 49-48. Under 6.5 to go. To Masterson, to Olson. Olson. Back out to Lefebvre for 3. Big 3 there from Lefebvre. 52-48. Kind of a game of runs right now. Lamont Sidney looks for 3. He'll drop it through. Both teams are absolutely feeling themselves right now from beyond the arc. It might come down to who stops the other one first. Inside now to Visser. Visser had a lane, but it closed quickly. Now to Lefebvre. Lefebvre, he'll give it off far side to Seth Olson. That's going to come up short, and Luke Wilson will grab the rebound there for Pine City. Wilson up the court quickly, and that's stolen right back by Silas Lefebvre. Lefebvre will put up a floater somehow, some way. I don't know how, but he got it to fall. 54-51. Now, if you're Pine City, you're kind of okay with that because it's now a 3-point lead for Hinckley-Finlayson, and if you hit a 3 here, that ties it, but it's not going to be so on that one. Seth Olson will grab the rebound here for Hinckley-Finlayson. He'll take it up the court. He's on the far side. He'll give it to Silas Lefebvre on the near side. Lefebvre looks. He wants to go inside to Masterson. Instead, we'll give it to Visser. Visser will drift towards the top. He stops at that near side elbow. He's looking, trying to drive near side, and almost had it poked out, but it's taken back. He'll give it to Lefebvre. Now back to Visser. Visser inside to Masterson. Masterson back out to Olson. Olson for 3. That's good. Uh-oh. That's a big one. It's now back out to a 6-point lead for Hinckley-Finlayson. 57-51, under 5 minutes to go. Lamont Sidney to Mason Charles. Charles, nice lane to the basket. He'll drop it in for 2. Cuts it down to 4. 53-57. Pine City. Hinckley-Finlayson. This has been a fun one. It's a 4-point game. Under 4.5 to go. Masterson gives it back outside to Degerstrom. Degerstrom will give it to Lefebvre, but it's stolen away by Lamont Sidney. And he'll put it up and in for 2. Huge steal. I can't tell you how big that is there by Lamont Sidney to read that one and bring it back the other way for 2. 57-55. Masterson inside. Oh, he had Olson wide open. He'll take the 2. That's no good. Masterson, he'll bump the rebound to Visser. And a 3 there from the Jaguars is no good, and it's going to be rebounded here by Wilson. Wilson looking to take it inside, swatted, and going to get a foul here on Silas Lefebvre. Lefebvre got too much there. He got a little bit more than the ball, and they'll get him for a foul. And that'll send Wilson to the line for 2. These are probably the 2 biggest free throws in the game right now, as this could potentially tie it. It'll be the 7th team foul for Hinckley-Finlayson. Well, they got Olson again. I don't know. I didn't see Olson. I saw Lefebvre got the hit, but I didn't think Olson was even near it. Oh, well. Wilson hits the first one to make it 56-57. 3:41 to go. Wilson. And he can't drop the second one through, but Lamont Sidney got the rebound and So Wilson only gets 1 of 2, and then Masterson somehow comes up with a rebound. Lamont Sidney had it. He put up a shot, and then Masterson came up with the rebound on the second one. They'll try and give it to Degerstrom in the near side corner. It's a 1-point game. Back out now to Visser, inside to Jordan Masterson, far side to Olson, wide open for 3 is Lefebvre. That's no good, and Lamont Sidney with the rebound here for Pine City. Luke Wilson gives it off to Charlie Osmus on the far side. Osmus drives inside, puts it up and in for 2, and that's a big one from Osmus because that gives Pine City a 1-point lead. It's 58-57. Under 3 minutes to go. Masterson inside, back out to Degerstrom. Degerstrom left alone for 3. That's off the front of the rim, no good. Lefebvre gets the rebound. He'll drive inside, and he'll be fouled. And it'll be their 17th foul. It'll be the second on Mason Charles. Lefebvre at the line to shoot 2. 2:48 to go. Lefebvre good on the first. No surprise there. 58-58. Holy cow. This has been a great second half. And he'll drop the second one through. It's a 1-point lead back for Hinckley-Finlayson, 59-58. Dragons have it in the front court now. Looking, they'll give it off to Lamont Sidney. Lamont Sidney thought about 3. He'll drive inside. He'll look, he'll take it to the basket. No good, and that is a shot that they needed that one so badly. Degerstrom with the rebound, gives it to Silas Lefebvre, puts it up and in for 2. And a 2 there from Lefebvre makes it a 3-point game now. Hinckley-Finlayson with the lead. Can they hold on? Luke Wilson far side. Bring it towards the near side. He'll fake, give it to Cummings. Now give it to Charles. Charles to Osmus. Osmus drifts to the far side, gives it to Wilson. Wilson wants 3. He's guarded well, though, by Silas Lefebvre. And Lefebvre, I think, going to grab the foul. It'll be, they're going to say it's a 1-and-1 for Luke Wilson. Head coach Kyle Allen wants it to be a shooting foul, but the referees do not agree. So Wilson, a 1-and-1, and he can't drop it, but Riley Cummings gets the rebound, a big rebound. Luke Wilson, a long 3. Oh, no good, and they're going to get Cummings for a foul. That's big because it's a 1-and-1 for Hinckley-Finlayson, and you're down by 3. Every point's going to mean a lot here now. Riley Cummings will get his 4th, team's 8th. Wilson talking to the referee about something, and Kyle Allen getting a word, as it'll be Visser at the line for a 1-and-1. Masterson will check back in for Harrison Kreft on the Jaguar side. Visser, no. Oh, he does get it to fall through. Wow. Took the home bounce there on that one. Big home bounce. They're quickly going to get Isaiah Haas checked back in. He'll come in for Osmus. And you're probably going to want Haas here late down the stretch. He's that physical presence. You definitely want him to be physical, getting these rebounds now, as they're going to be at the utmost importance with under 2 minutes to go. Visser made the first, and he'll make the second, too. Clutch free throws there by Trey Visser. Make it 63-58. It's a 5-point lead for Hinckley-Finlayson. Pine City with time running out. They'll need 5, if not more, to try and get the victory, but Hinckley-Finlayson has just been on right now, and a 3 there. That is no good. And Mason Charles gets the rebound. He lost it for a moment. Tried to throw it off a defender. It's stolen away. No, stolen right back by Riley Cummings for 2. It was Masterson who stole it, and then stolen right back by Cummings. It's a 3-point deficit for Pine City, 63-60. Silas LaFave, he'll give it off to Seth Olson. Three, no good. Wow, rare miss there for Seth Olson. Isaiah Haas gets the rebound for Pine City. That's why you want Haas in there right now. He'll give it off to Lamont Sidney. Under a minute to go. Here we go. Down the stretch. Who comes out on top? 63-60. Hinckley-Finlayson trying to hold on to their 3-point lead. Luke Wilson looks to drive inside. Gives it off to Cummings. He puts it up and in for 2. It's not 3, but it's down to a 1-point deficit now. 63-62. Hinckley-Finlayson certainly will just waste time here. No need for them to rush. LaFave has it. LaFave getting... Nope, they're going to call a timeout. Going to be a timeout called here by Hinckley-Finlayson. They'll be left with 1. 63-62. Hinckley-Finlayson holding on to that 1-point lead here at home in this final Great River Conference game between these two. And it won't matter much for section-wise between these two, but conference-wise, that's going to, I mean, I can tell you right now, the pride that team is going to hold going into the playoffs for either of these teams is just going to be huge. It's going to give either team a lot of momentum. So the Dragons down by 1. Hinckley-Finlayson holding on to that lead here at home. Again, I want to thank all of you who tuned in here tonight, whether you're watching on our YouTube, via our website, WCMPradio.com, or on the radio, 106.5 FM, AM 1350. It has been a fun one. It's a 1-point lead here for Hinckley-Finlayson, 63-62, 40 seconds to go on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. Your customized smile journey starts with a free consultation. The team at Embrace Orthodontics wants to make your journey as seamless and convenient as possible with custom braces or Invisalign. Here we go, the final 40 seconds in the game. Jaguars have to inbound. Lamont Sidney guarding the inbounder in Levi Degerstrom. He'll get it inbounded to LaFave at that last possible second. And, of course, Hinckley-Finlayson just going to try and drain as much clock as they can. They'll now give it to LaFave, back to Visser, back to LaFave. And, yeah, they're not going to try and score too much. Oh, Luke Wilson fouled Degerstrom. They didn't call it, and Wilson's upset. There, oh, my goodness, a big missed call there. One of the only times that you, as a team, you want a foul to be called. Unfortunately, Cummings going to get his 5th, but that foul should have gone on Luke Wilson as he fouled Degerstrom here on the near side. They didn't call it. But either way, Seth Olson at the line for 2 for Hinckley-Finlayson. First one is good. It's a 2-point lead with 19 seconds to go. Ooh, that hurt because that took off an extra good 6-7 seconds. 2 by Seth Olson. Here we go. 19 seconds to go. It's a 3-point lead, 65-62. And a foul there on Hinckley-Finlayson will send the Dragons to the line for 2. And these are 2 big ones. Now the question is, what does Pine City do after this free throw? They'll get 2. It's a 19 foul for Hinckley-Finlayson, the 4th on Silas LaFave. Luke Wilson at the line to shoot those 2. It's been tough at the line here tonight for the Dragons, but he makes that one. 65-63. The question now, do you get this one foul right away? Do you miss on purpose? I doubt it. You don't miss. Oh, and he did miss, though. Rebounded here by Lamont Sidney, and then it goes out of bounds. He could not hang on to it. Lamont Sidney. Oh, did we get a timeout just in time? We might have. I think he did. I think head coach Kyle Allen got the timeout just in time. He did. Oh, catching a absolute major break there are the Dragons. So Lamont Sidney got the pass, and as the whistle blew, he lost it and it went out of bounds, but the timeout was called before that ball got out of bounds. So if you're Pine City, 11.5 seconds to go, they need 2 to tie to take well, I don't know if this would go in overtime with the way Hinckley-Finlayson's been hitting their shots from 3. They might just be able to get that shot to fall. But if you're Pine City, It'll be interesting to see what they do here. Try and get a shot off right away and keep Hinckley-Finlayson from scoring. Do they try and go for the last second three? Do they, go for two, tie it up, and hope Hinckley-Finlayson doesn't get a last, heave? Or, there's a lot to think about right here if you're Pine City. I would assume try and tie, go for overtime, and then get the victory there. But if you're Hinckley-Finlayson, you got to be protecting every and anything. And I don't want to say you're okay with the foul because you're not, because that'll send them to the line for two if you're Hinckley-Finlayson. But, at this point, if you get a steal, game is over. Here we go. 11 and a half seconds to go. 65-63, Jaguars with the lead. Inbound here to Luke Wilson with 10 seconds to go. It looks like Pine City's going to wait for that last second shot. Luke Wilson trying to drive inside. 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, and we get a foul there. And, oh no, we got a timeout. A timeout called here by Pine City. 2.6 seconds to go. With that timeout called there by Pine City. Oh my goodness. So it'll be Pine City's last shot. They'll have to find a quick open shot and just put it towards the net. Everybody in here is on their feet darn near, at the edge of their seat, no less. Everyone's on the edge of their seat. If not, they're standing. Everyone, you can just feel everyone holding their collective breath inside Hinckley-Finlayson High School. It has been a great second half of action between these two teams. Jaguars trying to hold on for a 2-point victory over Pine City, but the Dragons will have the last shot of the game with 2.6 seconds to go, and I'm sure Luke Wilson's going to be the guy they're looking for off the inbound. 65-63. Can the Jaguars hold on? Timeout was called there by Pine City. It was their third. They'll be left with two. It really won't matter. I don't know if you'll get another timeout in with enough time to even shoot. But here we go. 2.6 seconds to go. Pine City obviously going to be trying to open up someone for three. Here we go. 2.6 seconds. Either way, this has been a fun one, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. Wilson will look. He'll have to get it inbounded quickly. And just about ran out of that 5-second clock, did Luke Wilson, so Pine City will call a timeout. And everyone still sitting on the edge of their seat. You can just feel the blood pressure in here rise. 65-63, it's been a fun second half. It's been pretty much all Hinckley-Finlayson. They've held on to the lead since about 3 minutes to go there in that first half. That's when they really took over. The turnovers became a huge factor, and that started to give them momentum, and you could see the shots just beginning to fall, and the turnovers were a big, big factor for Pine City, and them losing that lead. They haven't had it back since, but they will look for the game-winning shot here, and they will be left with one, so if there's no open pass inbounds, they'll take their last one, and that'll be it. Here we go. Most everybody on their feet. It'll be inbounded by Pine City. Luke Wilson. And another timeout. That's it. So that's it. That's the last one. That's the last one by Pine City, and they'll have to inbound it here. And I can't help but wonder if maybe that was something that Pine City was looking at doing anyway, just kind of seeing what Hinckley-Finlayson provided on those last two inbound attempts to see what they can get here on this one, and maybe that's what they were looking at. We'll have to wait and see. Either way, Pine City has no timeouts left. That's their fifth and final. And with 2.6 seconds to go, these 2.6 seconds have felt like about 20 minutes for these fans in here, I'm sure, on their feet, on the edge of their seats. Collective breaths being held. Blood pressures have risen. I'm sure a lot of Apple Watches right now are telling them, hey, you got to calm down. 65-63. Hinckley-Finlayson trying to hold on for a 2-point victory. Pine City's got one final chance. And another timeout here by Hinckley-Finlayson. So I think we've used about 4 timeouts with 2.6 seconds to go. And we've had about a 5-minute break, it seems like. It's been 2.6 seconds left, but we've had about 4 timeouts altogether. And that'll be the last one for both teams. That is the final one off the board. Either way, stay tuned. We'll try and get an interview with head coach Kyle Allen post-game and our A&W player of the game. Whew. We tried to collect our breaths there at halftime, but the second half has not allowed us to. It has been so much fun. Jaguars looking for a huge win. Pine City looking for that last chance shot. Here we go. Last chance. They got to get it inbounded. Luke Wilson to Isaiah Haas for 3. Nope. And that's it. Hinckley-Finlayson comes out with the victory. 65-63. Haas not enough on it. And it is a final. Pine City falls to Hinckley-Finlayson 65-63. Oh my goodness. Haas just couldn't get enough on that last shot. And the Jaguars come out with a victory, 65-63. What a game it was here by both of these teams. It was a fun one, but the Jaguars come out on top, 65-63. What an ending it was there, and last chance shot just missed. But my goodness, what a great, fun opportunity here to be able to call this one, and the Jaguars get a huge win. Some might call it an upset. The Jaguars certainly won't, but for a lot of people, they might call it an upset. What a game here between these two teams. And we will try and get a post-game interview with head coach Kyle Allen and possibly our A&W player of the game. We'll see if we can get one here. But again, the final here in this one, 65-63. We'll take a commercial break and we'll come back to recap this game. You're listening to WCMP.
Hey, I'm Chad Greenway. When I was playing, I loved chasing down running backs. But you shouldn't have to chase your bank around when you're buying a home. Franzen Bank and Trust Mortgage Consultants will be with you stride for stride, like a linebacker on a running back, from pre-approval to closing and beyond. Let Franzen Bank guide you through the mortgage process. Learn more at franzenbank.com/get there. Franzen Bank and Trust. Real people, real results. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Save now, plow now. Save now, mow later. The word to remember is save at Minnesota Equipment. End of the snow season means savings on all in-stock snowblowers. Top brands like Ariens and Toro. And if you're a get-a-jump-on-things type of person, get your new mower now and save before the grass starts growing. John Deere, Gravely, Toro, and more. Minnesota Equipment has the machines, experience, and inventory to help you get the job done in any season. Save now at Minnesota Equipment.
A&W Restaurant Pine City is still making fresh root beer, that signature item since 1919. It's still made fresh and on-site with real cane sugar and a blend of secret ingredients. It doesn't get any better than this. Their world-renowned A&W root beer is a classic treat, and they can top it off with creamy vanilla soft serve to be known as the famous A&W root beer float. Now that's smooth, tasty, and refreshing. An American iconic A&W root beer float. It never tasted so good. A&W Restaurant Pine City. Come grab your root beer float today.
Your tomorrow is important to Pine Insurance Agency and Grinnell Mutual. That's why you can trust us to provide you with personalized service and a full range of insurance coverages you can count on. We'll be there when you need us so you can trust in tomorrow. For all your insurance needs, contact Pine Insurance Agency, your local Grinnell Mutual agent at pineagency.us today. Trust in Tomorrow is a registered trademark of Grinnell Mutual Reinsurance Company.
Are you interested in a technical degree that can quickly help you land your dream career? Or maybe you've always dreamed of going to a four-year college, but you'd like to start close to home. Either way, Pine Technical and Community College has you covered. PTCC offers more than 50 degrees in hot fields like healthcare information technology, advanced manufacturing, and business. PTCC is now accepting applications. Financial aid may be available online at pine.edu. Starting out or starting over, find your future at Pine Technical and Community College.
Did you know that Franzen Bank and Trust is a Minnesota-owned company? And they're one of the largest community banks around. That's a great combination. As a community bank, they're dedicated to their customers and the communities they serve. You might say they're big enough to help, small enough to care. Last March, they provided $20,000 in grants to 6 different Minnesota communities. They also processed well over 1,700 PPP loans, allowing local small businesses to keep their employees on the payroll during the pandemic. Franzen Bank and Trust. Real people, real results. Member FDIC.
Welcome back here to WCMP 106.5 FM AM 1350. Holy cow, what a game this was between these two teams, and what a great ending it was, too. The Jaguars come out on top 65-63 over the Pine City Dragons. A huge conference win that'll push them to 7-5 to end the conference season. Pine City will end it at 9-3. What a game it was. It was a fun one. It was a crazy one. A great ending. It came down. It literally came down to the last shot, and Pine City just came up short on their last opportunity. Looking at the stat leaders here for the Pine City Dragons, leading the way was Luke Wilson with 22 points, 13 for Charlie Osmus here tonight, then 9 for Lamont Sidney, 6 for Riley Cummings, 5 for A.J. Austinson, 4 for Mason Charles, 3 for Ashton Seals, and 1 for Isaiah Haas. Leading the way rebound-wise was Riley Cummings with 12, 8 for both Wilson and Sidney, 7 for Haas, and then 4 for Plajic. They had 4 steals here in the second half for a total of 7. They had 8 fouls in the second half for a total of 18. On the other side for the Hinckley-Finlayson Jaguars, the victors here tonight, leading the way was Silas Lefebvre with an even 20 points. Then Seth Olson with 17, 8 for Jordan Masterson. He was a beast inside. I should forget to mention Trey Visser had 12 here tonight. Then 5 for Levi Degerstrom, 2 for Griffin Steele, and 1 for Chase Clare. Leading the way rebound-wise, both Jordan Masterson and Trey Visser had 6 rebounds each, 4 for Levi Degerstrom. And steals, they had 11 total, 3 in the second half, 8 in the first. Leading the way, though, with steals was Jordan Masterson with 5 of those bad boys. They had 8 fouls here in the second half for a total of 13. And if you tuned in here tonight, man, you chose to tune in to a great one. This was an absolute fun one. I was so blessed to be a part of this one. Thanks so much for tuning in. And again, I know you guys don't tune in for me. You tune in for these young men and ladies who play out here on the basketball courts and on the hockey arenas. But I appreciate you tuning in, because if we don't have you tuning into these games, well, then we don't really have a reason to be out here calling these games. So I just want to give you guys a shout out. Thanks so much. You the real MVP, yes, as one would say. But the Pine City Dragons, or the Hinckley-Finlayson Jaguars, rather, come away with a victory here tonight in the conference over Pine City, 65-63. Again, this was a fun one here between these two teams, and I was so happy and blessed to be a part of tonight's game, and what a game it was. These two teams went at it. Pine City held the lead basically throughout the entire first half, but right at the end, with about 3 minutes, 2.5 left, the Jaguars, that momentum from the turnovers started to turn their way, and they all of a sudden got their shots to fall. And I kind of said it before, when the last time I seen their shots fall like this was when they beat East Central 90-78, and that's kind of the way it went. They just started to get everything they wanted to fall. It was a low-scoring first half, but in the second half, nearly 40 points put up by the Jaguars. They scored 39 here in the second half. Pine City scored 41, but my goodness, what a game it was between these two teams. It was a fun one, and these two teams ended here with the Jaguars getting the victory 65-63. And the Jaguars, wow, it was a fun one. They'll be one game away from 500 now on the season, as they are now sitting at 12-13. And again, they finished the conference schedule at 7-5. And what a win here tonight it was for Hinckley-Finlayson, an exciting one. The Pine City Dragons, they fall to 13-12 on the year. They are now 9-3 to finish up their conference schedule. And both of these teams will have one more game to finish up their regular season next week. For the Pine City Dragons, they will be at home on Tuesday against Esco, and the Jaguars will finish it up on the road next Thursday at Uppsala. So both of these teams have one more game before their season finishes up, and then the Jaguars will play on the 7th of March, Dragons on the 9th. That's when those playoffs start for both of these teams, and we'll try to be covering, if we could, we would love to cover each and every local team in the listening area, but unfortunately, we just don't have the manpower to do that. But unfortunately, we can't get to all of the games, but you can be certain we will be out at as many as we can be here in the playoffs, but we only have so many people to get out to these games, so we will do our best to get to any and all of them that we can. So the final here again, the Jaguars get the victory over Pine City 65-63, a huge conference win that ends their conference schedule at 7-5. Of course, I want to thank all of you for tuning in here once again. Thanks so much. I appreciate it. And whether you're listening on the radio or on our YouTube via our website, thanks so much. If you are on our YouTube, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. That subscribe button will notify you anytime that we go live with a local game in our area. So again, on the YouTube, hit that like and that red subscribe button. That'll get you notified anytime we go live with a local sporting event. Of course, I want to thank all of our fine sponsors who sponsored this broadcast. Of course, we can't do it without them. If we don't have them, then we aren't able to come out here and call any of these games. So thanks so much to all the fine sponsors who sponsored tonight's and every other broadcast that we do. Again, stay tuned to the morning shows for all of your local sports updates on Nice 95.5 KBEK with Rock and Robin Riley at 7:30 and 8:30, and over on 100.9 FM with Joshua Miron at 7:45 and 8:45. That's when you can catch your local sports update. And we'll talk about this game. We'll recap this game, plus other games from our local listening area. We'll talk about those games, give you the scores from those games, and, of course, stay tuned to our websites and our Facebook. Will let you know who's playing where and when for the playoffs, and of course also give you some articles on recaps of games as well. So stay tuned to the websites and Facebooks for updates on playoffs, on weather-related cancellations, on sports articles, recaps from games, and of course stay tuned to our websites as well. So again, the Jaguars get the victory, 65-63. Coming up for us tomorrow, we'll be back on the airwaves, back right here on 106.5 FM, AM 1350, and then also on 95.5, a simulcast for tomorrow night's regular season finale between the Pine City Dragons and the Malacca Wolves, that girls basketball game, and that should be a fun one. That's a section game that had to be played because it's going to be important for section seedings. But again, the final here in this one, the Jaguars top the Pine City Dragons 65-63. Thanks to all of you for tuning in, and remember, be kind to everyone. You never know what someone is going through, and your kindness could truly make their day. The final one more time, Jaguars 65, Dragons 63. For WCMP, I am Ethan Game Day Gilman. Have a great rest of your night and a fantastic weekend.